Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Fox Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Podfather, Todd Fox, along with 3 of my 4 children, the ones that all went to the OU Michigan game this past weekend. We got the dog, Kellen. We got cute little Gary, and making her triumphant return is cute little C. She's back. She's the freshman of the year there at Harding University. Way to go. See? Welcome back. Yeah, cool. Nice talking to you.
Thanks.
Very nice. Well, we had a big win this Saturday. The Oklahoma Sooners 24-13 over the at the time the number 15 ranked Michigan Wolverines, and we all obviously went to the game, and I'm going to get into it. I got some questions I have here for you guys to see what your thoughts were on several of these. But one being John Mateer. Game number 2 under the Oklahoma belt, not bad. Once again, he played extremely well. I know he did have the one interception at one point that was probably obviously one of his worst throws of the night. Could have had some more, but he did a fantastic job as well of running the football, which was incredible. Did a good job there for us. He had what, one touchdown pass, I believe, and did he have 2 running or just one? I can't remember. Was it one? 2 running? 2 running and 19 carries. So we had two rushing touchdowns. So let me ask you this while I'm thinking about it. His scrambling ability, is it a weapon or is it a risk or is it kind of a both? But how should OU use him going forward? What are your thoughts?
It's a weapon for sure.
I don't think there's any way you watch that game and don't say it's a weapon. If you're going to say it's a risk, then running the ball in general is a risk with anybody. Like his build, he's built enough that he's not going to get hurt by every hit. Now, 20 carries, it is a little excessive, but when you're playing, you don't play, a top 15 team every week. And so that being said, you don't need to run it 20 times every single week. I doubt we get to 20 rushes or even 15 rushes by him until we probably play Bama again, to be honest. But
really,
that's besides the point. But 100% a weapon. I think he is. They kept on calling it on the air. Kirk Herbstreit just kept saying how he has the vision of a running back. Like he's not. Whenever he has the ball in his hands, I mean, he can throw it, but he's got the vision of a runner too.
I think it's
Kellen
definitely
or C,
a
what do you
weapon.
got?
I don't want to rush it too much, but he does have incredible vision. His footwork, he's having the grown men on the ground and just embarrassing them out there. So he knows what he's doing. He looks like he's pretty good at protecting the ball, and he's not a small little guy. So he's kind of I don't think, unless he just takes a freak shot, I don't think he's at too big of an injury risk. So I think it's definitely a very valuable weapon.
Yeah, on the walk back to the car after the game, I pointed out to Garrett, they showed a replay of one of his runs, and he just saw a tiny little pocket, and you can just see his thought process, and he runs in, goes to the left a little bit, hops over this guy's leg, he just saw what was going to happen. So I guess it's a risk for him, but for the team, it's definitely something that we haven't had in the last couple quarterbacks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been since Jalen Hurts for sure. He reminds me, I don't know if he reminds you guys, I think we've talked about it a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of Baker Mayfield. The way just his his swagger and everything, the way he plays,
everybody's saying,
the way he runs. Yeah.
He reminds me of a
Pretty
cross
impressive.
of Baker and Jalen, the swagger of Baker, but the calm and collectiveness of Jalen.
Okay.
But he does show some emotions of Baker for sure.
No, he does, but it's
dude
not
is
as much.
going into halftime only up 14-0 and pumping up the crowd, and going off the sideline only up 8 points, hoping your kicker makes a point, pumping up the crowd. Jalen, that was not Jalen, but I do agree. I mean, definitely post game, he's definitely outside of the game, probably more of the Jalen approach, I would say. Yeah.
Very polished at the microphone. Running backs were quiet once again. Is this a concern, or is Michigan, were they just that good on the front line?
I think it's a concern. It was a concern last week against Northern Illinois. We didn't do anything. So I think I don't know how much we're paying. I don't really care. But the fact that we obviously decided to get a supposedly stud running back over depth at somewhere else shows that I don't think he's all that. But yeah, there was no separation, no gaps made. But at the same time, these guys they can't create anything for themselves, which is just so frustrating. And I think it's very telling that you have a true freshman in Blaylock getting as many snaps as he is. And I think he's good, but I think that just shows that Ott and Javonte and Xavier Robinson are not on the level that we were hoping they would be coming into the season.
It is a bit of a concern, but I do think Michigan is good with the run defense. But like Gary said, because it was a concern last week, I'm a little bit concerned, but I think we'll get it figured out, especially having such a good pass threat now and a dual threat quarterback, honestly, that I think it will open up the run game over time. We just have to keep working at it.
Sure. So you got anything to add?
I mean, definitely was hoping, like Gary said, that Javonte Barnes and Xavier Robinson would kind of have a little bit more plays, but also, I mean, Mateer did run it a lot. Maybe we're just don't think we need to use him as much. I don't know what that was, but
well,
yeah,
and when you
it's a
run
concern.
Mateer, that's an extra blocker because Mateer's not going to go out there and
True.
block. So they definitely use Javonte a lot of times for that as well. And then I think also use Blaylock as a decoy as well. But
Well, what about Venables' fingerprints on this defense? What stood out to you most from this defensive game plan?
100% the linebacker play. I think last week we were kind of dogging on a couple of them just because they had a couple of plays through the running game that just kind of blew up and there was just no linebackers to be found. But I mean, you could go like obviously Kip's Kip, like he's a stud. I really do think he's going to be, all SEC at some point, but he's a stud. And then Kendall Daniels, I mean, he was all over the place.
Yeah, he was.
The other night. And Owen Heineke, a walk-on who transferred from Ohio State as a lacrosse player, and he was all over the place too. I mean, he was this backup linebacker showed out. Sammy, I'm butcher last name, but Osmehego or whatever.
Yeah.
He had the half sack. He definitely missed a couple tackles. Kobe was all over the place. I mean, but that being said, I don't think it's necessarily that much. I do think it's better. I don't think it's necessarily that much better than last year. We just finally have an offense that gives them some rest, is able to play complementary to them, and let their stats actually show on the scoreboard as well. Because that was the first time that Michigan been shut out in, I think they said like 50-something games in the first half.
Yeah, definitely pointing out that one Kendall Daniels play where as soon as the Michigan guy caught the ball, he was on the ground. It was such a clean hit. I mean,
he timed it perfectly.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And those kind of plays like that get the crowd all pumped up and fired up. And that crowd, talk about the crowd for a minute. Like, how impressed were you with that?
They were fantastic. Everybody was in it the whole game. Every time the ball was in play, we were standing up. Like, we only sat down during timeouts and commercials. So yeah, the crowd was fantastic that whole time.
I think it's the best environment we've been in a long time. I think you could go back to last year's games. Tennessee was, that was pretty electric, but it wasn't, I mean, we weren't doing anything. So there was nothing really to get excited about outside of the defense. And then Alabama, I think, was more fun just for the fact that we shouldn't have won the game. And we were, just awful last year and obviously rushing the field. But this game, for what it meant and as early in the season as it was, I think this was definitely the best environment that I had been in by far.
In a while, or by far?
I mean, I don't know what else.
Really?
Yeah, I guess Notre Dame way back when, but we lost that game too. So it was like,
right.
I will say the Oklahoma State game in like 2018, that was a pretty electric one as well.
The one where they missed the 2-point conversion.
Missed the
towards the
2-point
end.
conversion
Yeah.
to tie it, or to take the lead, sorry. Yeah.
Right. Kelly, what were you going to say?
Also pointing out the Michigan fans that we were around.
Oh,
they were losing. They had no problem just trash talking the whole time.
Beep. Yeah. I thought for the most part, majority of the fans were pretty good. There were quite a few of them around. Michigan fans, I guarantee not all of them are from Michigan, obviously. There's a lot around the world, and they're one of those teams, Michigan, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. They're fans.
What's up with all these fans showing up with a Michigan hat and an OU jersey or a Michigan jersey and OU hat? Like, you can't do that in college football. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
You got to pick a team, stick with it. Makes no sense to me.
Unless you got a kid playing for each game or something in the game or something like that. But these people I saw were
those parents didn't have nobody. Yeah.
No, for sure. Kel, were you going to say something about the crowd, or were you like a little bit of the banter that we had going on?
Well, Gary was just comparing this to last year's Alabama, and obviously I wasn't there, but what makes this more exciting is Alabama, like Gary said, we weren't supposed to win, and it was just a great game. It was fun, but this one means something for this year. It's not a fluke. It's not like we pulled it off. We went in there expecting to win. We beat a very good team, a very good ranked team, a historical team. But it's not like, oh, we just got lucky. Like, no, we controlled this game, so we feel better going the rest of the season because it was deserved this time around.
Were you guys ever at any point, because I'll be honest with you, going into the game, I felt pretty confident. I did. I felt pretty confident. And I know there was a couple times where I got frustrated whenever we muffed the punt, whenever we blocked, we ran into the punter, things like that. I got frustrated. And it was more so just like, dadgum, because we controlled that whole game. We could have put them away, and just some of the negligent plays that we had, penalties and such, turnovers, helped keep Michigan in that ball game. And Garrett, to your point, if you want to talk about that 75-yard touchdown run and what you saw, and you pointed it out to us.
Well, first question, I completely agree. I think leading up to, I was definitely nervous, but as soon as I walked in the stadium and you kind of look around. We were there 2 hours early, but there was already at least 50,000 people there. But and you just kind of got that calmness. And then as soon as it got closer and closer, you don't care. You're like, nobody's beating us tonight. Like, you just had that feeling. And that first drive was a statement drive. 2 third downs, a 4th down, and then you punch it in with a nice little dump off to Burks. But that set the tone, and I think that immediately calmed the entire team, the entire stadium, and I think Mateer's confidence, not that he needed it, but just went through the roof. Same with Arbuckle. But I don't know necessarily what you're asking me about that one big play, but it was really just Peyton Bowen.
Yeah,
that was out of the spot. He took too much of an inside zone, and then he's an athlete, but he wasn't going to catch Justice Haynes. So he was the reason that they let up that score, but. He still had a decent game. He was all over the place as well.
And other than that play, they had some other plays, but that was like the play. And other than that, we shut them down.
Yeah, I think you can't, but if you took away that one run, they averaged 2.5 yards per carry.
Yeah,
I think is what I saw
for sure.
And for a team that can't pass and that solidifies their entire identity on running, to be held to basically 2.5 yards is huge.
Definitely. I just think that shows you how good. I think this defense is really good. It's, I believe, ranked number 7th in the country currently, which whatever about the rankings.
And that's with the no turnovers.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we've got to get some turnovers going. We got some pressure on the quarterback. Underwood, it was a second game. He didn't look all that great. I don't feel like I don't know if they had a great game plan for him or what. I think he should have probably been using his legs a little bit more. Only time I really remember him using it was he had a 9-yard gain. He missed some passes. We helped him miss some passes, but Kellen, there was that one where it was over on the left side. I say left, but and right over basically
top
in front
side
of
the screen.
And if he would have kind of tossed it over, that receiver would have been gone for a touchdown. Little guy.
I couldn't tell. He might have thrown it to the wrong guy, either that or a really low pass. But I think that helped our defense knowing that he really couldn't throw. And I think that's
Yeah.
part of the reason we don't have turnovers is because the last two teams haven't really thrown the ball much. So unless we're forcing to fumble, we don't really get interception opportunities because they're just not throwing. He's a true freshman, and they didn't look like they trusted him too much. And I mean, he made some bad balls, but he also threw a couple that were really good. I mean, in a game like that, I would have just let him loose. And if you're gonna lose, might as well lose fighting instead of kind of playing safe the whole time. But I think that's part of the reason we don't have turnovers. But yeah, I don't know. I was screaming the whole time that he couldn't throw every time because the Michigan fans, just a couple of them in particular, were frustrating me. But so every time he threw the ball, it felt like 99 times out of 100 it was going to be incomplete. So I just screaming, go ahead and redshirt him.
Yeah, I've got it right here. He ended up 9 of 24 for 142 yards, 40.1 QBR rating. Obviously not what Michigan fans or Michigan was looking for. And I do think Venables' defense did play a part of that. I'm not going to act like it was all on Underwood. I think they had a really good game plan for him. And then one other thing I wanted to jump back to, though, do you think Mateer put the SEC on notice a little bit with his running ability? Yeah?
I
They're
think
going
with
to
all of
notice
his
that a little
ability.
bit?
Yeah, I think you can't. I think in college football, unless you just have a dynamic offense and weapons and everything, you won't win that many games without a mobile or just athletic quarterback. And I think with the ability of him, again, just to be able to be successful at it, but also, too, we've seen that as soon as he gets out of the pocket, that's not his go-to. He still wants to pass the ball. We saw multiple times him breaking out of the sack and still looking downfield. So I think that's also one thing that teams are going to have to be able to factor for is that, he's going to get outside of the pocket and you got to rely on a one-on-one matchup, but also your DBs have to stay with our guys too. One thing I'm in tier 2 really fast. So last year through the entire season, we had 4 passes of over 20 yards. And this year through 2 games, we have 11.
Man.
And I think that goes to show coordinator, quarterback, receivers being healthy, and time in the pocket as well. I mean, that's for all levels.
For sure. Little C, what do you think about, was this win proof that OU is obviously closer built for the SEC than they were last year and a couple of years before that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like Gary said, not even just the quarterback, but if you're just looking at quarterbacks, obviously Mateer, he's definitely a better fit for OU. He's got a couple receivers. His run game is amazing. He's got a good coaching staff. I mean, it's all just lining up. And I think that after last year, a lot of people just kind of probably weren't even thinking about it. Because it's like, oh, they just got another quarterback, whatever. But I think, yeah, even after just 2 games, it's definitely going to make people focus a little bit more on OU.
Tell them, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think we definitely put him on notice, and I think the improvement alone in quarterback and offensive coordinator is just night and day. Because I think Arbuckle last year, we would have won more games with him, even with the same quarterback room. He's got some special plays. Like, what was that one? I don't even know if you'd qualify as a flea flicker, but it was like handed it off, pitched it back to Mateer. Should have been a touchdown. Was a beautiful pass right through Kannick's fingertips. But he's just got some great play calls, and he's not afraid to take some shots. That's what we were missing last year. So I think between those two, I think it shows like we were such an offensive-heavy team, then we went to defense only. Now we're kind of balancing back out with our defense being really good and our offense being really good. And I think that's scary for some people because that's what we were missing. We had one or the other for the last however many years, and finally we have both.
The thing about Arbuckle, too, is everything in reality is really just so simple. Like, he, on those 3rd and 5s and 6s and mediums and stuff, all he does is have those 2 or 3 guys just get to the first down, find that soft spot, get open, and Mateer's going to find. Like, it's not that complicated. You don't have to do all that fancy schmancy, picking and just screen passes. Like, I love, like, we have hardly seen any screen passes, and I love it. Yeah. But His offense is so simple and so easy to succeed in. I mean, there was one play, I think it was in the fourth quarter. It was like 3rd and 4, and for some reason their defensive back was like 15 yards off our guy. So what's Mateer do, and what's Arbuckle have him do? Snap the ball, just give it to him real quick, and easiest first down ever. And I think that's just what we've been lacking in, for sure, in the Venables era. I think Lincoln was obviously good at it, but there's certain routes that are just so much higher percentage of getting open on those short ones, and just hadn't had it. And I think he makes it look so easy, and Mateer looks so comfortable in that offense. And I can't wait to see, hopefully Arbuckle stay in to where he's got more quarterbacks that stay in his system for even longer than Mateer.
And seeing the chess match between Martindale, the defensive coordinator, longtime Baltimore Raven defense coordinator, now with Michigan, and Arbuckle was just fun to watch. And Arbuckle, I believe, outdid it for him. He outcoached
him.
Like
a 60 or a 20 or 30 year difference or something like that.
Yeah.
Not 60. He's 63 is what I meant to say when I said 60.
We handled that game, and it was never, honestly, it just never was in doubt. Even the long touchdown run, you kind of thought, dadgummit. But then I want to talk real quick. This kind of changes the subject a little bit, but we talked a little bit after the game, Garrett. I don't know if you remember, but remember when Mateer made that one pass that kind of got tipped, and it was picked off, but then number 5, I can't remember his name. He made the tackle, so he drops it. And the very next play, he throws one of the best passes I think I've seen a quarterback make in a long time, through people to the same guy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, broke the sack, and so everyone's freaking out. Rolls out. He definitely could have just thrown it away.
Sure.
Didn't take the sack. Good job. But like you said, and we had that perfect. we had the perfect vision, because he threw it. I thought he was going to Deion Burks underneath.
Yeah.
Is where I thought it was going at first. And I think if he would have, it probably still would have worked. But to have that vision that Satenga was running around almost like a wheel, and I don't even know if that was the play. I haven't even watched it to see if that was what he did just after the play was broken or not. But oh my gosh, yeah, it was just pinpoint. But we were mainly talking about how he followed up the should have been pick with a play like that. Shows that he, play by play, he really just doesn't care. He's just going to take it play by play. He does not give a rip.
No, he doesn't. Reminds me a little bit of a gunslinger back in the day, I'm not going to compare him to Brett Favre or anybody like that, but that's just what he kind of reminds me of. If there's something you're concerned about, obviously the running game, what else kind of concerns you a little bit? I got a thought in my head, but I probably, one of you guys will probably say it, but what kind of concerns you currently right now? Because still early.
I think there's not a lot of holes. Outside of special teams, that's just an obvious. There's not a lot of holes in this team, but I think you'd have to go safety play. Cornerbacks are locked down. Cortland Guillory is an absolute stud. If Gentry ever plays, he's a good corner. Eli Bowen, hopefully he keeps up what he had last year. But specifically the safeties, I think they get out of position quite a bit, not only on the run game, but on the pass game. Bryce Underwood missed a lot of blown coverages and also just missed a lot of passes down the field. So once you play a good quarterback, once you get down to Garrett Nussmeier and even probably Bama's quarterback, and that's really it, to be honest. But they're going to make you pay for that. So
Texas, I think
they'll
be. I just think they'll be ready for us.
You talking about Arch?
Nah. He'll be able to hit open guys for sure.
Yeah, I think he'll be ready for us.
No shot. He misses people all the time. He is honestly probably no better than Bryce Underwood right now.
Well, possibly, but he's going to have some other games under his belt. And I'll be honest with you, Jackson Arnold being mobile like that, we're going to have to stop that. But he's kind of a little bit of a little gunslinger too. But he's one that's prone to make some mistakes as well, though. He'll make some mistakes against us. Anything else, Kellen or Little C? You guys got anything that your thoughts are that kind of concerns you at this point?
I felt like we had some bonehead penalties throughout the game. There was one drive I was trying to look for. I can't remember which one. They either hit a field goal or missed a field goal, but they were not gaining yards. I kept watching the scoreboard. Their yards did not go up, but we kept giving them free yardage with the penalties, and we got to clean that up. And obviously, like you said, special teams, that's our biggest hole right now. That is brutal right now. And it's been that way for the past couple of years, feels like. But I want to clean up some of these penalties because there was the one towards the end of the game. I can't remember who it was over there he'd be on the bottom side of the screen, but there was they basically had a pass interference, both of them at the same time. And I thought they were going to call it on us. But luckily it was kind of within the 5, and they were both going at each other. But it was it could have been a penalty on them if we would have just let go and pushed them back a little bit. It was just little stuff like that. We really need to clean up just some of these stupid penalties.
Yeah. I think it was Guillory maybe, which he's fantastic. So. Callie, what do you got?
Targeted 9 times, let up 1 catch. I mean, he is going to
really good.
Yeah, he was getting praises from NFL corners. So, yeah, he's getting noticed already.
Good player. We'll see.
One thing I was going to point out is, Kanik, which not even just looking at the play where the ball went right through his hands after the most perfect setup. But, he improved even just from the game against Illinois. But even looking at that, I think that sometimes when he has the ball, it's so close to being a fumble every single time. So
it scares me.
Just if he could just,
it feels like he's trying to do too much.
Yeah, which it's impressive, I guess, how he's been playing already this quick from his switch positions, but just get him to hold onto the ball a little bit safer.
I know I kind of busted his chops a little bit last week, but I oh my goodness, this guy's a big, I say big, he's 6'2", maybe
230.
235, yeah. But regardless, Garrett made a point he can block, and he's not afraid to run over people. So it's pretty cool to see. But to your point, when he does catch the ball, I'm like, go down.
I was going to take a different approach. I was going to make sure we showed him love this week because he absolutely he absolutely killed it in the blocking game, number 1. But he had the drop. Definitely, you can't do that, but so does Satenga as well on an easy curl route. But anyways, but he's a stud, and Kirk Herbstreit was calling him, giving him his flowers as well. There was on Mateer's second touchdown, that play call. He's Kanik knows he's about to have to just run into somebody, but he's having that linebacker mentality. He loves that, so he took on their best defensive player 1-on-1. And was able to push him out of the way to let Mateer get through. So,
sure,
I love that they bring him into the backfield to block, and he is fast. I think somebody mentioned it last week, but Kansas State champion in 100-yard dash, and he's a tough son of a gun to bring down. He honestly probably is going to be the best tight end we've had since Mark Andrews, which isn't saying a lot because we haven't had very many. But
before that we had some back in the day, but since then, you're right.
I am glad, though, a drop like that happened during this game where we didn't really need it.
Oh, yeah.
It would have just been a really cool play. So, I'm sure they'll definitely clean that up in practice and everything.
They'll clean it up, and they give some other teams to have to practice that now to make sure they don't go about it. But my biggest concern, and there's always concerns. I love everything you guys talk about, but like Kellen was saying, my big concern is I don't know how good our kicker is going to be. And my concern is if it gets down to one of these crunch times and he's got to hit a 45-yarder at the end of the game, will he be able to make it? I don't know the answer to that. Nobody knows the answer to that, but I just want to see some little bit. And again, hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities, but when you have that opportunity and you kick it and you miss it, it's kind of disheartening a little bit. When we haven't had a really good kicker, it's been a while, I feel like, but I could be wrong, but I'm thinking about this last couple of games, and our punter, it seems like the other punters always can do much better than ours. And we've had some really good punters in the past.
We had a different punter this game than the first game.
Yeah. I just want to see it down inside the 10. Heck, in between the 20 would be fantastic, which I think we had a couple, but it's just, I don't know. It's just concerning to me. Anything else about Michigan before we move on to Temple? You guys got anything else you want to talk about with Michigan?
Was this?
I wanted to say, because we had made mistakes. There was a few passes that Underwood could have hit that would have been huge because we left some guys open, or I honestly thought Mateer could have had 3 picks potentially because, again, great balls. Most of his incompletions weren't great. A few of them were through some hands, but The difference is, though, we kept at it. We overcame all the mistakes. Last year, we would have lost this game. Even if we controlled it with the mistakes we made, we would have ended up losing the game. And I still think that shows massive improvement from the last year and the last couple of years, that mistakes or not, we held it together. We stayed confident. We didn't chicken out at the end. Like, we still stayed aggressive, and it shows we won the game.
Well, to that point too, I mean, with staying at it, you see every play, none of these guys are giving up. I think for sure that near pick with Satanga I think he was going after it thinking he might have a chance at it, but the fact that he had that switch into defensive mode in a millisecond and was able to knock that out was huge. And then Mateer towards the end of the game, I think it was actually technically our second to last drive, but that 8-minute drive when he got stopped at the line of scrimmage but didn't give up, so he was trying to get around to a different spot, face mask. Like, he could have just gone down, taken 40 seconds off the clock, been okay with it. But, I mean, you see it all over the field on defensive side of the ball with 6 players going after one guy, making sure, there's no extra push. But my question was, is this Brent Venables' biggest win so far?
I mean, because he needed this win, and he needs them all. I think so. I think so far it's his biggest win. And I was just going to say that I don't think this isn't Michigan. I mean, it is Michigan, but it's not the usual Michigan. I don't think they're as good as they have been when Harbaugh and them was here. And I know, but it's still and it's a big win regardless.
Well,
I think it'll be different next year, but yeah.
Outside of the last 3 years of Jim Harbaugh, they weren't Michigan for the last 20 years before that. So what is Michigan now? It's still, blue blood team. I get that, but nonetheless, they've only been good the last 5 years or so. Before that, they weren't doing a whole lot. They were honestly like an Oklahoma State to Ohio State. They'd have some good years every once in a while, and then they'd fall off the face of the earth for 3-4 years.
True, I get it, but it's different team. But I mean, what do you guys, Callie and Kellen, biggest win? What are your thoughts for Venables?
Yeah, I mean,
that Texas win was pretty special.
I was going to say the Texas win is the only one comparable, simply because when we won that game, we were still thinking playoffs, and we lost the next 2 after that. But at the time, in the moment, it's Texas plus we were rolling, and we were feeling good that year. But the way the last year went and the improvement, this might be the biggest win, simply because it got rough. We went out there, made a couple moves, picked up, like we said, Mateer and Arbuckle, and they look great. They look fantastic, and I think it probably is his biggest win. But yeah, that Texas game's the only one comparable.
And one other thing, and I'll move on to Satanga, the punt. I heard today that I guess he kind of got ripped into, beat up on a little bit last week for letting some of the balls bounce and then picking them up. So they wanted him to catch the ball. I would much rather catch it while I'm kind of running forward versus backpedaling, and I think that was an issue there. But let's move on to Temple, Oklahoma, and Temple in Philadelphia this upcoming weekend. It's at the Eagles Stadium. Temple Owls are 2-0. And granted, they haven't played anybody special. UMass, they beat 42-10. And Howard, they beat 56. I think, is that 56? I got my daggum glasses on. 56-7. So they can score. They're currently right now they average 253 yards passing, 260 yards rushing. Again, I understand the competition, but at least they know how to run an offense. It'll be interesting to see what we come up with on this game. What are your thoughts on this game? What are you looking forward to? And I mean, obviously, we are all going to say come out of this game healthy. I get that, but what else? What do you want to see?
I'm a little bit interested to see how they play, especially Mateer at an away game. He's only had 2 home games so far, and the point he made in his post-game interview after this last game, whenever he was saying how he threw a pick, and then the next time he went on that field, the fans were still just cheering him on, and it obviously motivated him and the whole team. So, I mean, obviously he's played away games before, definitely prepared. It'll be interesting to see how they perform in front of a different crowd.
I just want to see pressure on the quarterback. I know we definitely got pressure. We just can't ever seem to bring the quarterback down. But let's get some pressure on the quarterback. Let's get some stat padding for Mateer and some of the receivers out there. And
turnovers.
I guess some turnovers would be pretty nice as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see some turnovers because, I mean, their quarterback threw 6 touchdowns last week. So clearly they're not afraid to throw. So hopefully they test us a little bit. I'd like to see our pass defense get tested, even if it's not the greatest quarterback in the world. Like, nobody's testing us right now, so I want to see us test that. I want to see how we do the run defense while there's a passing threat. I'd really like to see us establish some more of a run game outside of Mateer this week.
That's what I was going to say is the run game. I want to see a big run game. Obviously, whatever all y'all said, 100%. I want to see some holes being opened up. I want to see some of these running backs, the Otts, the Robinsons, the Blaylocks, whoever, getting through those holes. And just, I don't know if it's confidence or what. We just got to do something different in the run game. And again, we got to stay healthy. Easy to say. It looks like Fasusi will be fine. I heard Gentry may have been was it a groin injury? Is that what you guys heard? Maybe. Hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah.
But this team's locked and loaded. I expect, Clay will be there this weekend. I expect to see there'll be a lot of OU fans because I think it's pretty cool. Garrett, I was going to ask you about this here in a second, but recruiting standpoint up that way, you'll get some different recruits in there, different fans as well. But how big of a win against Michigan with all those recruits? Like, how big was that? All those recruits there.
Yeah, that was massive, not even just for Oklahoma football, but just Oklahoma University, which is insane. I mean, there was so many stars out there. Let me pull up the list real quick. But most notably, I mean, obviously we got Bo Bentley, who's going to be our quarterback probably once Mateer leaves. I mean, okay, hopefully if he stays next year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he stays next year. If he does, I think it could be Bo Bentley, it's a 4-star quarterback from Texas. There was also the number 1 pocket quarterback in 27, who's now projected to come to us, who is Peyton Houston. So that would be a huge, huge win. But in total, I think we had, trying to count the number, over 40 recruits at the game for football. Mostly as well, blue chip, which is 4 and 5 stars. So I think that was a massive, like you said, massive weekend for every game or every sport, but specifically football, obviously. See,
Kellen, anything you got on that at all?
I mean, the win was huge, but just the environment. Like, if I was a upcoming recruit and I'm looking around seeing the crowd just electric on their feet the whole game, like, that's a place I want to go.
Cool.
And like Mateer said, he threw the pick. We were cheering him on the next one. Like, nobody, like, that's where you want to be, and that's huge.
Also, really fast too. It shows how confident we were in this game to have that many guys there. Like, obviously they fully expect to win every game, but we definitely didn't have 40 recruits at Bama, Oklahoma last year. I can promise you that.
Well, against Temple, currently we're 24.5 favorites. 51.5 is the over/under. What are your all's predictions on this game coming up on Saturday at 11 a.m.?
I'm thinking 41-10.
I was going to go 48-7. I think there's going to be some bonehead busted play. That's the only reason they scored.
There always is. Yeah.
I was going to say 30-10.
I'm going to say 13, 45, or 44-13 is what I'm thinking. I think we'll have control of the game. I think we're going to try to run the ball. I think they'll try to establish the run. Obviously, we're going to try to pass the ball, but try to establish a run to try to get that clock going, get that offensive line moving, and get them ready to roll. That's what I'm expecting. I'm hoping to see. I will be very happy. You want that to be over, and then we'll have Auburn here, which now you guys saw it's a 2:30 kickoff. Yeah, which I was kind of, I don't know what your thoughts are, because I got to work that day anyway. I'm going to have to go and leave a little bit earlier. But what were you going to say, Garrett?
Oh, I was going to say someone who's got to drive. I was happy with the 2:30. So.
Were you? No, I mean, that's cool.
But I will say, yeah. I mean, if anyone has any discussion points for that game, because there's not a lot about Temple, obviously. But if anybody has any comments to have us talk about for that game, go ahead and put it so we can have it for next week.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of good comments, people talking about the Michigan game, and majority of people that I saw were on our side. We had a few Michigan fans. I'm assuming Michigan fans, but thinking Michigan was going to win, but they did not. So Here's a fun question I'm going to ask you guys. It's again, keep 4, cut 4. This is a category of things people argue about that don't actually matter. So you're going to keep it or cut it. Number 1, is hot dog a sandwich?
Keep.
Cut, because it ticks me off.
We'll see.
Yeah, because it's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich. And it ticks me off that people think it is.
Keep.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Keep.
Keep.
Keep, because I do like pineapple on pizza.
Toilet paper, over or
Cut.
under?
Cut.
Cut. Nobody gives a crap.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Cut.
Cut.
Keep, because it's just funny.
GIF is pronounced with a hard G or a soft G. Is it
Cut.
GIF or GIF?
Cut.
You
Cut.
ever
It's
heard anybody argue
definitely,
about
it's definitely a GIF.
Yeah.
You don't want to get up to heaven and God's like, you've been pronouncing it Jod your whole life. It's God. It's also GIF.
I remember when Wi-Fi came out. I thought it was Wi-Fi. Which way
When
the
Wi-Fi
toilet?
came out.
Callie didn't know that it hasn't always been around.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I remember
I thought
we were in Iowa, and on our way to church, there was a Panera Bread right there in the corner, and it said Wi-Fi available, free Wi-Fi. And I go, "What's Wi-Fi?" I mean, I didn't have that.
I thought the joke was going to end at I remember when Wi-Fi came out.
Moving on. Which way the toilet seat should be left? Toilet seat up, toilet seat
Cut.
down.
One
I-
key.
I guess cut. I got.
Cut.
Okay.
Hey, I did see on that toilet seat argument real quick. If you lift it up and she puts it down, that's 1 and 1. So we should leave it up. When we lift it up, we already did one. She
Yeah,
can put
but-
it back down.
Do some research of what all comes out when you flush, because it'll make you want to.
All right, moving on.
That is
I don't
true
wanna
too.
hear
But
that.
that's never.
I
their
close
point.
every time, not because it's like she dogs me on it, but because I don't want none of that stuff in my hair.
Hey, man. That's something I don't want to discuss. Number 7, cereal
You asked.
before milk or milk
Keep
before
it.
cereal.
I guess keep because that's all I got
I
left.
only have keep left, yeah.
Is it soda, pop, or Coke?
Well, there was another one.
Yeah, keep. And it's
I
pop.
don't remember what I have.
I always say pop.
You seem like you got a cut, Gary. I got no clue, but that's
I got no clue. I don't know who got what, who's still left. I don't know, but all I know is the Fox 10 Sports Podcast would like to thank everybody for listening to our podcast. Thank you so much. I know you got busy stuff going on. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And if we made you think, we made you laugh, we made you cry, we made you upset, we did our job then, because we want some more banner going on. The football tends to get the little banner going on. We can't wait till people keep telling us they're circling dates. People were mad about. We had some people mad about. Obviously the game day crew should have been in Norman. Okay, not in Kansas or Missouri or whatever that war or whatever they called it, 2013. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just get ready because they're coming to.
Yeah.
They're coming to Red River and they're coming to back for
Yeah.
LSU, Oklahoma. So they're going to
Get
be here a
used to it.
lot.
Get used to it. And all these people beating up on Oklahoma. Let me explain something to you. Enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoyed it, because I'm not going to say we're back. We're still going to have some difficulties with some games this year, but this team is got a bunch of fighters in it, and they're going to continue to win. But for all the kiddos, I want to thank everybody once again. Subscribe to our podcast. Listen, tell your friends about us. And until next time, goodbye, everybody. Boomer.
Thank you for listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Fox Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Fox Den Sports and on Facebook at Fox Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Fox Den Sports.